Everybody talk at once. Let's see what happens.
Well, I'm drifting on frequency, or off frequency, but I've got audio.
He's got modulation.
I got a barefoot Viking too.
Some junk is what that is. It's garbage. It's not you.
No, it's the net. I'm glad I made the net tonight.
I'm in this zero beat that station. Everybody please stand by. I got to engage the VXO.
What? Riffs all over the frickin' place.
Do I need more power?
Yeah, it would be nice.
Alright, well, let me go throw some breakers and stuff.
Yeah, for real, for 2RM it would be great, but some people don't respect how to use AM. Well, that's the way it is, so we'll just stomp them into oblivion.
Here's their radio greaser tune. Yeah, little VXO.
Yeah, it's impossible. That's one of the problems with this net. It's impossible to zero beat them. There's one guy in the net, there's a couple of them, but one guy in particular, from the time he keys up, he drifts about 1 kilohertz per minute.
You know, a slider.
You may have one of those CB things that they have, you know, where they purposely drift on. That's a thing now.
Yeah, Bear had it. He finally fixed it. All he had to do was change a tube.
Just change that
Damn, homie!
Chris, are you still up at the camp?
Yeah, a few more days.
Hey, thanks for the 2 months,
How's
bro.
it going?
Oh, fantastic. No bugs, no rain, no water, which is not fantastic, but it's going good. The road is
Yo,
done. But
Giant, what's up? Thanks for the host, bud.
Compact. So far, I've driven halfway up, within 30, 40 feet of my porch, and even that is just huge.
Well, yeah, I haven't talked in a while, and I just wondered how it was going. Well, it's good. Yeah, lack of water, not good, but, you know.
Well, my rain barrel system was full when I got up here from the tropical storm, but now I'm down to, I probably got about 150 gallons left, 10 gallons a day average. I want to try and stick it out until Tuesday. Hopefully we get some rain Sunday and the barrels will fill back up.
Yeah, we're supposed to get something as well. Anyway, it's been a while since I've been in here. I've been hanging out on 40 meters at night rather than here.
For Dave. I haven't checked for you up there. I listened during the day, but I've been busy here the last couple of days with stuff, so I haven't been around on 40. Oh, what the hell is it? Yeah, I'll look for you at night. I got extra radio time. I hurt my little finger. I pinched the fingertip of my left middle finger in a improvised kind of sawhorse thing, target stand down the rifle range yesterday. And pinched the tip right where the callus on my fingertip contacts the string. It was painful, so I got some extra time. Maybe I'll check for you a bit later.
Ow!
Yeah. Well, depending on conditions, usually in the evenings, skip becomes fairly long, but you never know. There's a shortwave broadcast station that's on till 8, and then when it goes away, everything becomes very, very quiet.
You were audible here last night, Timmy.
I was.
Yes, you were.
Like piss weak audible or strapping audible?
Oh, I've heard stations within 300 miles of here at night on 40 lately, very strapping.
Yep.
Yeah, I think the MUF is slowly picking up.
What was your power level?
Yesterday, the MUF was 95 megahertz for most of the afternoon. And I'm mad at all the 6 meter.
I need more power.
Everybody is on FT8. I look at the eCloud map online, and guys are on FT8. This is like 11 o'clock yesterday morning. Guys are working Europe from the East Coast and the Midwest. Guys on the West Coast are working Hawaii and Japan. Huge 6 meter opening. I call CQ till I'm blue in the face on 50.125 or 50.110. Nobody's picking up a mic. I'm pissed. And I know this thing's working. I can hear a beacon in Rochester, New York, 130 miles away, 140 miles away. It's running 1.5 watts to a dipole. If I can hear that, I'm getting out.
I got a question. With the FT8 mode, what is it? Text communication? Or is it just an automated, you put it on, you'll walk away and see how many contacts you make?
I'm looking into it. I'm going to turn it over to Bill. I think works FT8, knows all about it. I'm looking into it, and
W2BTK.
how to do it with a
W2BTK.
controlling the radio frequency using the CAT interface and all this highfalutin stuff. I'm like, well, why can't I just, hook my sound card up to the radio and go? But yeah, it looks like QSO mode is possible, but it's extremely low speed, very, very low speed. So QSO is like not really happening. So I think most people just do it automated. But maybe Bill, you could tell us some more about it.
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess if you modify the program, you can run FT8 full auto. But before I get into this, how well are you hearing me? All right. Well, no, you gotta kind of like click your mouse around, and you'll see. You're listening to like a 3 kilohertz spectrum, and you can fit 100 QSOs in that 3 kilohertz spectrum. So you're listening and decoding all this crap going on, and you can snipe contacts. You see stuff decoded. It sends a series of tones out. They decode it, and it's not like a chatting mode. It's really set up for to call CQ, give a signal report, get a signal report, say Roger, and say 7-3. It's kind of weak sauce, but the thing about it is FT8 can be decoded down into the noise, minus 20, even lower than you'd be able to hear CW, non-audible stuff. It can pick up, you can work people that are down in the noise. So it's kind of cool for that. And I don't particularly think it's much more than a toy as far as ham radio operation, but you can upload your spots to a website called pskreporter.info, and that's super, super, super useful. Timmy, you could get on the array and belt out 5 or 10 CQs via FT8, and then go check the propagation map and see, what your signal strength is in certain areas, and then you switch over to the 160 dipole and you belt out a few more CQs via FT8. And you get your signal report from that, and that's what it's really, really, really cool for. But when the band is dead, I mean, you can work the world on a dead band with FT8. It's cool, and it kind of sucks. Take your pick. W2BTK. I'm gonna go check and see if the filaments are happy.
Thank you, Bill. Well, what really pissed me off today was about 4 o'clock. Again, there's a wall of FT8 signals on 50.313. Nobody on voice, CW, or nobody on sideband, nobody on CW. And I'm tuning around the beat.
Yay.
In France coming in, and it was strapping. Again, up to 50.110, 50.125. Call CQ till I'm blue in the face. Nobody's home.
People want to... They want to work all over the place with compromised antennas, and they want to maximize their Q rate, and there's everybody is trying to, a lot of guys that were frustrated because they couldn't put up a real antenna are now making QSOs all over the place. And there's something to it, and you really, really can check your station's capability very well with it, especially when making changes. Like I said in the past, when I changed my 160 antenna over from the Marconi to a a doublet. It got on 2 nights later, I did a lot of checking with it. It was amazing, and you see it right away by looking at spots. So you don't have to work all these people. Everybody is listening to the whole window, and everybody is reporting to PSK Reporter. So you get on there and call CQ. Anybody that hears you is going to report your signals, your relative signal strength, and it'll be there for you to look at. So it makes beacons obsolete, and yes, there's like bands like 10 meters. When 10 meters comes back, it's going to be total bedlam. And at that time, people are going to see the signals are strong enough. Let's get on first CW and then slap with it when they get over a certain level. But it's taking a lot of people away. I get on 10 meters right now with my monobander. I guarantee that I can at least work somebody in the Midwest or probably Florida. Usually Canary Islands comes in here when there's just a little bit of anything going on. And it might take QRO to do that, and just to give you an idea, June 20th, I worked a bunch of Japan stations, a bunch of Japanese stations on, and this is 2 ways, not 1 way, all over the island on 10 meters on FT.
At 30 feet of LMR 400. Now my porch, mind you, is in the treetops. My porch is probably 125 feet above the road because I'm on the side of the mountain. So, this antenna is in the trees, essentially. It's not on the ground. If I can hear a beacon 130 miles away that's running a watt and a half, I know I got a good setup. I'm blocked to the north, but the east, south, and west, I can see to the horizon. And I was really hoping to get a good band opening up here and work some voice, because I know it's going to strap. W2JBL.
Yeah, far out. Well, you'll have a lot of fun with that sooner or later, and you won't be aggravated all the time anyway. Right, Bill?
Yeah. You hear me better now?
Oh, yeah, and the CW was repeating lid. I love it.
Oh, they don't like us. We're lids. No, we're AMers. We do AM the way it's been done. AMers don't start a net on the AM watering whole frequency when it's in use. You guys aren't even AM. You're not even hams, none of you.
What's a lid? It's a top to a jar. What's a lid, man?
It's the guy with his gear or whatever, something. Who cares? I know, I'm strapping him. The rest of you guys are strapping them. So, have a nice day. W2VW.
No, W2BTK. Yo, Dave, I did cheese garlic bread, the garlic knots, like, the usual, but I also got the Italian sausage, and it was good sausage. And now I still have a whole extra large cheese pizza here, and I'm stuffed, but I'm still gonna eat a slice. I got my Hatzel and Boo Boo shirt on, live stream's going, and I just woke up from my nap in my chair. I came home, turned my computer on, and fell asleep. Hello? Anybody want to check into the Your Net Sucks net, aka the AM Facebook Sucks net? Taking check-ins. W2BTK.
I love the peanut gallery. I love the peanut gallery. So when I hear the peanut gallery, I know we're all getting out.
What every good net needs is an alternate frequency and somebody with enough brains to figure out how to make it work.
You mean like the AWA net? Bunch of very smart people. 3835, 3837. Dig it, 30 guys down there. Out of the window. Doesn't bother anybody.
Here you go. That's it. Have a nice day. Don't care that you have a crystal. Go out and buy another crystal. I don't care.
Or get one of them fancy schmancy doctor of dental surgery VIFOs.
Or pay somebody to put it together for you. That would probably be more like it.
The year the 6L6 came out in 1937, he was frequency agile and reported to
God
me that
damn,
he
Steve, what the
It's
hell?
not very hard to do.
Yo, Steve, man, thanks for the friggin' 5-pack. God damn, bro.
Anyhow, enough of that crap. I'm not going to devote any more of my time and energy to that. It was an overcast day today, and I see in the news where a woman dragged a guy off the train tracks who was trying to cross the train tracks in a wheelchair, and she got him with the...
Yo, Steve, it's good
her
to see
body
you,
cam
man.
was
You're
on,
friggin'
and,
lighting
she
it
got
up
him
in
with
here.
only a few seconds to spare, and I'm thinking about the coasters, you know? Along came Jones.
And then along came Jones. Tall, thin Jones.
My goodness, man. Jeez.
That's it. That will be played here tonight at some time at full volume.
It's good to see you. It's getting a little rowdy on the air right now. The Florida mullet net is fired up, and they're not happy that
In a half an hour.
we're out here.
Like right up the end. It's at 6:58, and I was in the kitchen and I missed the video.
And happy rum night.
The diversified police officer. She was a Hispanic female officer. So much for the lacking of diversity in the police.
No, I got the
department.
Kraken.
Positive story for once.
Yeah, the only thing about that looked to me like could have been any better would have been she could have used
Kraken
the
and
vehicle to
Dr.
get a little
Pepper.
closer and would have saved a little time. But I mean, you know, in the heat of the moment, she got the job done. And, yeah, that's great. That really was great. And that's not a news program. That's an opinion program. Don't call it news.
Yeah, I suppose you're right.
They all are. Every single one is an opinion program now. News is dead.
The lies, the blatant lying just blows me away. Did you know that in Texas, 1 in 4 people have COVID-19 as of today? That's what they imply by saying 1 in 4 people tested. And I don't even believe that, test positive.
Somebody was telling me that, like, this doctor, right, he like really isn't happy with all this, like, all tests come back positive stuff. So he ordered like 70 COVID-19 tests or something like that, and he didn't open any of them. Like, he got the tests and he didn't open them, didn't touch them, just took them out of the packaging, put them in whatever they put them in to send them out. Like, nobody used them. He sent all 70 of them out, and he got 70 positives back. I heard, like, some other guy was sending, like, mango slices in the COVID-19 test, and they all came back positive. Like, what the hell? You know, what is this? So I don't want to go get tested. They're just going to be like, oh, yeah, you got it. Oh, yeah. No, it's serious business.
Meanwhile, if you take a little bit of time, the information is out there. I actually spent time on it today. I looked up the county where Tim lives, which is a pretty big county, and the results that I got there were very similar to what I got here in Herkimer County, New York, where I am today. According to the CDC, there's 33 active cases of COVID in Tim's County and 1 death as of 2 days ago. It's about the same here in Herkimer County. The virus has done checked out and gone. And people are beginning to realize that, but it's just not being reported.
What is that, Marijuana County up there?
No, here in Somerset County.
Oh, they didn't change the name?
Oh, no, Dave, the marijuana county is down in, like, Lewis County, down near Marcy, New York, up along the Tug Hill Plateau. The farmers that didn't sell their land to the wind farms still grow a little bit of corn, but that corn's just there to mask the marijuana.
Oh, gotcha. Well, I guess everybody's got to make a living. They busted a husband and wife not very far from here. I guess just yesterday. They got they had a package that was being delivered from the Netherlands. Are you listening, Clark? Is your antenna back up, Clark? And it apparently contained some kind of psychoactive substance. And the government, Homeland Security, informed the local PD. So one of the local cops posed as the delivery guy and delivered it. And they busted into the place, and they were, I think they had a firearm or two, and a bunch of the evil wacky weed, and some money, and a whole bunch of other stuff. But that all came from Homeland Security. So interesting to see how the cookie crumbles.
Yeah, well, hopefully the federal government will wise up and just legalize it.
That's never going to happen under the present government.
No, it won't, but when that changes, you never know.
You should have to get a functioning adult marijuana license where you smoke like 3 joints, and can you still do a Rubik's Cube, and you get certified.
Can you?
Yeah, well, up here it's illegal, but there are all these caveats. But I don't carry any on me anymore when I'm mobile.
Yeah, that's a good move. Do you have to have a registered user's card to buy it, or flash your driver's license or anything?
I don't know. I've never bought any through, as they would say, legitimate circles. And the problem is, when I fire up that 811 rig, I start coughing and hacking, and and so I've had to cut way down.
You gotta stop using that little shorty pipe. It's the heat from the smoke that's killing you.
Yeah, I do have a shorty, that's for sure.
Better off rolled. The temperature coming out is a lot lower. Well, in New York, you can get a medical card. I could get a medical card for my chronic foot pain, but you get tied into a database, and it's shared all the hell over the place. So, let's say I get that medical card, and I'm using it, and then one day, and this has happened, it's documented, then one day I go, I'm going to go buy a gun. You get locked up for being a drug user buying a gun. People have been locked up for it. So, they ain't doing that in this state.
Yeah, well, that's New York, but I don't know. I know I would probably qualify for as a user, there's some of the little issues I have, but nah, I can get it without going through those channels if I had to.
Much cheaper that way anyway.
Yep.
Timmy, you've probably never done a dab, but I'm pretty sure it would send you into orbit. If you get those too hot, they hurt real bad.
Well, you could eat it, ingest it, or whatever, but Bill, you gotta look at people like Tim and myself that have been running rigs like that for 50, 60 years. The tolerance is significant.
Have you ever done a dab, Chris?
What, oil on my tongue? No.
No, I'm talking about concentrates, vaporized concentrates.
No, I haven't tried that, but I remember I dropped a whole hit of Owsley acid and survived that.
Oh, yeah, no, not a tab. A dab.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about, but no, I haven't. I have a pretty good idea what the effect would be, though. It would be very gratifying.
A little dab will do you.
What the? What? I mean, what's wrong with just a touch? I don't get what the whole thing about having a turbocharged nitrous oxide injected Hemi marijuana implement. I don't get that.
Now, I don't either, because you just end up glued to the couch. You can't get up. They call it couch lock. You can't move. I'm not interested in that. Just a nice buzz. That's all. So you have, the products are so incredibly potent today that you really, really have to do it in moderation, or else it ruins the experience.
Yeah.
Well, to make it like maybe make a gram of wax or concentrates or whatever you want to call it, you need to use like over an ounce, and you get the yield is like a gram.
That's cuckoo.
It's good stuff though. I mean, if you're into that like kind of thing and that vibe, and you like doing that stuff, you should try it once or twice. It's pretty gnarly. It's neat, just a little one, and you'll be like, whoa, I feel like I just I smoked like a week's worth in one hit.
My drug of choice for this week is naproxen.
I had to quit the 811 rig, man. I kind of miss it. I've been, having a glass of wine every night, and it's not the same.
Are you able to sleep at night without it?
I sleep so much better. Like, my quality of sleep has gone up tremendously since I stopped doing that stuff.
Last time I did that, I couldn't sleep for 2 weeks and went back.
I sleep like a rock now.
I already do. But, good for you, definitely. I don't think the dab is going to do me in. I mean, literally, I did full hits of Blotter and Owsley, and this was the real deal. This was in the in the 70s, early 70s, and this lasted 18 hours, man.
First time you do a rather large, very hot dab, you might change your mind. You'll start coughing, and your body temperature will go up, and you'll start shaking, and you'll be like, wow, I feel like I'm in pain, but it's good pain.
Yeah, I don't need. Boy, someone just took a crap. Oh God, my receiver's taking a crap. I've been losing the AGC in this R398, which I so lovingly restored. W2JBL.
W2VW.
WA1H.
W2 BTK. I need a refill.
Yeah, the AGC went intermittent on this 398 today, and I did a nice job on this one. I guess I didn't pull any test equipment out or anything, but I think I got a bad IF module. And guess what I don't have here? Spare modules for this receiver. I forgot to bring them.
That's the very last, most difficult thing to troubleshoot on an R390A after everything else is done, is getting the AGC right.
Well, this one was right. It was really right, and was also modified. I love this thing. It's got a big output transformer and audio mods, and this is really good sound. Very high performance receiver. If it dies on me, I'll be pissed, but I still have a SPR4 drink that I bought new back in '75, and my father's RME 45, so I'm not over here.
You got backup, but they don't have that steep skirts.
This is true. Well, I got to go out and hang something off the porch for a minute and grab a beer. I'll be back.
Roger, Roger.
All right. Dave, how long are you here in the Bull Magoo tonight?
Oh, you're perfectly legible here since you got on. No problem.
Okay. Yeah, the wire array I temporarily decommissioned it. I've been experimenting using the West element as 2 full waves in phase on 40. And I've been having some interesting results, and I'm still doing research on it before I return things to normal.
Yeah, okay. No, I understand that. It's always a work in progress. Have you run into any of the 7293 people west of the Mississippi while you've been up there?
No, I really haven't. You know, I have a 7290 crap still, and most of the time when I'm up there at night, I use a Blue Magoo.
Yeah. Well, that's the activity that I look for at night. There's a lot of neat guys out there. You know, there's a pocket of people out in Arizona. And, I can't say I've worked anybody on the West Coast on 40 in a while. It's been a few years. I remember when Clegg, that guy that lost his mind, he lost his marbles, used to get on, and we'd all work the guys on the West Coast. That was a whole lot of fun, but I guess those guys aren't active out there anymore. You know, like half of them are silent keys. Sometimes I lose track as to who's with us and who isn't.
Now, I know, it's getting kind of frightening.
Yeah, like Jack Benny. He's still around, right?
I don't know.
Well, George Burns, he's still alive, right?
God, he must be over 100.
Well, George Burns had his 100th birthday party planned. It was going to be a big TV show. And don't ever do that.
Yeah, assuming that I make it to 100.
And I think I remember when you had your 40th birthday bash. Yes, I do remember that. Holy crap. That was a long time ago.
Yeah, it was. And you know, Drina, WA1HUM, brought along a video camera, and he videoed, I guess, a good part of it. And when I was cleaning up, his estate and taking stuff out, I came across it, brought it home, I showed the video cassette to my wife. Oh, yeah, really? And then she put it somewhere, and I don't know where the hell it is. And I'd like to find it. And find somebody. Maybe I still have a good working VCR and render it to digital.
What year was that, Tim?
When was it? 89. Was it 89? Yeah.
That's not the one I was at. I think I was at your place for your birthday party. That was either 81 or 82.
Yep. I forget. Was I with Kathy or was La Bitchelle up?
A little red-headed spinner.
That was La Bitchelle.
Yeah, it was 81 or 82 that I can recall.
Yep. Yeah, around that time frame. God, my life went through a lot of twists and turns after Kathy and I split up.
Yeah, I know.
W2 very weak.
W2. J-Bell, portable 2 in the Adirondack Mountains.
This is WA1H and YLR.
W2 BTK, AM Facebook sucks.
I wouldn't know. I'm not even on Facebook.
Got myself a new soldering iron for my birthday.
Forsaken ham radio to these other social medias that just don't do it for me.
Yeah, those things, they're okay, and swell bounces and all that, but man, it becomes a hangout of its own, and sometimes it's pretty
I'm probably going to have to get on Facebook. The trend seems to be that businesses that are too big to launch a website of their own simply go to their Facebook page. They, they put all their business up on their Facebook page, which is great. But if you're not on Facebook, there's no way for you to communicate with them.
Oh, I've been running into that. And it's like, well, sorry, I don't sit on my Facebook.
Well, that's what all the small businesses are doing up here in the North Country. And of course, there's a lot of places don't even have internet here. I'm using cellular internet with an RF modem now. I love it. My God. And having the internet here has been fantastic. It's really been a big help, and I keep running into that. So I'm going to have to get into space at some point.
All Facebook sucks. I'm telling you. I don't do much on Facebook. I post occasionally. I read people's stuff, maybe comment here and there, but there's like zero information up there. I don't even have my real name on my Facebook page, and that's hard to do these days, but my Facebook account is old, man. It's from when the Facebook first came out. Pre-like button, all that crap. My name's Peter Venkman on Facebook.
Oh. Well, I tried it 10 years ago, and right after I opened the account, well, the first problem is I have a very common name, and it also belongs to an NBA player, and he don't look nothing like me. Or the other way around, actually. But I started getting these emails from it didn't say Facebook.com. It was just some bogus spam-like email address. And the text of the email was, do you know this person? Do you know that person? I'm like, what the hell is this? There's nothing on it that said it was Facebook. And it took me about a year to figure out that all of this spam I was getting was coming from Facebook, and it was some setting that I had in there that needed to get turned off. And once I figured it out, it's out of hell with this, and I terminated the account.
You got a half a dozen baby mamas in Chicago.
Don't you know?
That's sit on my Facebook.
Oh, yeah.
My brother, Dave, reference your baby mama comment. My brother gets spam from various organizations, and so his name is Jefferson Jackson.
Well, can he speak? Or does he go...
Oh, he sounds just like me. He firmly believes that his name alone got him a scholarship to Fordham University.
It probably did, because I can tell you that my name has gotten me places that I would not have gotten.
Really? Very interesting. Yeah, just out of the blue. This is like senior year in high school. He gets this he gets a scholarship to Fordham. I guess they figured he was going to play basketball. Guys in outboard motors. No, we didn't have a basketball.
Dude, they wanted to arrest my brother when he was like 19. Because there was somebody with the same name 2 towns over, and the police, what did they do? They called the house and asked for him, and they said, listen, if you turn yourself in and all this stuff, and my brother's like, listen, man, I'm going to Yale University, and I'm home here on break. I don't think it's me you're looking for, and I mean, my brother was okay with the basketball, but...
Listen, I've had that happen to me, and more than once. Get pulled over by the cop for driving while white, and hand the guy my license. He goes back to the car, runs my license. The next thing you know, I'm sitting there 10, 15 minutes while this guy gets all of this stuff back on the computer in his car. You know, it's all done. They don't even run licenses over the air anymore. And they're called association hits. Anybody with a similar name to somebody, person's wanted or escaped. At one point, the cop come back and asked me for my social security number. And if you can't give them your social security number, they're going to take you in. Because what they want to see is, your SSI number match the wanted person. And in fact, I had one cop one time ask me for my social security card. That was crazy. But yeah, they call out association hits. And with certain common last names, it can be a problem.
You know, they had hearings and stuff when they were introducing Social Security, and our government promised that the Social Security number would never be used for anything but that. Because you had the Baptists and everybody else that read the good book, they didn't want the sign of the beast, the branded numbers and all that stuff going on, the serial numbers in the end times and Revelations and all, and kind of makes you think they might have been onto something.
Oh yeah. That's why I didn't get tested for COVID after I had it, because I was going to end up in some database.
What about your NICS, NICS check when you buy a gun? N2LJO, good evening.
Hey, George. Oddly enough, I've never had a problem there. Not once.
You had your back down there, Manuel, if you wasn't got in here.
What the hell is that?
Well, that there is the Gulf Coast Mullet Net, WA4AM, and they start up on here every Tuesday and Thursday night, whether we're on here or not.
Oh, okay. I guess if they want to find out if it's raining, they call the dome in and see if he's wet.
It's an unfortunate situation on here, but nice to have you up here this evening.
Thank you. Yeah, good to hear you. I haven't heard you in a while. And we haven't been on 6. But it's good to hear you nonetheless. I needed to play a little radio and depressurize after a day of work.
Hey, I want to try 6 with you before I leave. I heard a beacon in Rochester, New York, 137 miles from here this morning, and the beacon was running a watt and a half to a dipole, so I'll shoot you. It'll probably be an email, or I'll call you. You're going to get a phone call from a 315 area code, probably tomorrow, and that'll be me. We'll give it a shot.
Yeah, that sounds like fun. I mean, you do have a lot of height, so who knows? We might have a path.
Well, I worked White Plains on 2-meter slot bucket from here. I worked Dave's friend and my friend, Big Al, W2NCH. I worked him 2-meter FM mobile from up here.
What?
I'm going to add another section of masts onto that 6-meter dipole, and I may move that 2-meter. I have a 2-meter loop up, but it's not in a good spot, and it's got, even though it's good low loss feed line, it's got 50 feet of feed line, which is too much. So I'm going to move that too, maybe start fooling around with 2 a little bit more on SSB.
RG213 or LMR 400, 50 feet of that's perfectly acceptable on 2 meters, but not RG8X or RG8.
Big Al had a good signal on 20 also.
Had the lowest loss from what I saw in the cable chart on the chart on Cable Experts, at least within the range of what I wanted to spend. I unrolled that cable probably 8-9 months ago, and it's been out in the sun and everything, and it still has marks from where it was rolled up.
What cable was that?
I believe it was 8U. I think, isn't 8U low loss on the higher frequencies?
No, it's 8U. 8U is kind of all over by 10. Yeah, it can be. It can be, but there's better out there. If that's what you got, keep it short. But there's a lot of different quality levels of 8U out there.
Yeah, this was good stuff. I think I got it from Cable Experts, but I didn't want to spend a fortune, on like Hardline or something. So I'll probably shorten it up and move the antenna.
Whatever you can do to clear the roof of your house and your other buildings, both of that and the 6-meter antenna will help, especially clearing the roof.
Yeah, well, that doesn't really do a whole lot for me because I've got that mountain on the other side of the road to the south, and to the north I'm, kind of open and clear. So the roof of the house really doesn't come into play on 180 degrees west to east, including northwest and northeast.
Yeah, okay. Hey, George, you want to go down to 3875? There's a bunch of people on here.
Yeah, we could do that. I don't want to monopolize it. Hello, Tim. Goodbye, Tim. Hello, Dave. Hello, Bill. Goodbye, Dave. Goodbye, Bill.
What? We're going to slow down the band, guys. This George is, well, anyway. I see him all the time in the nets. I'll see you a little bit later. I only got a few more minutes on here anyway. W2JBL.
Okay, hi, George. Hi, George. Hello. Goodbye. You say yes, I say no. W2VW.
And make sure, well, you know what, I'll make it 73. Make sure you come down there and let me know if I'm 40 KC wide.
What's you do something about it?
Yeah. All right, George, see you later. Yeah, I'll probably stick around here a little bit longer, and then I gotta get something to munch, and God, my eyes are stinging probably from allergens in the air. So I gotta drag a rag across my bag, as it were, and God, I tell you, today was a sluggish day. My get up and go got up and went.
What kind of bugs do you have up there this time of year, Timmy?
Well, there's the ever more popular mosquito. And we do have it. They have not been in a large quantity, but that are really nasty are deer flies. You know, they're like little laser sabers when they buzz around you. And then they take a bite right out of you. Then, of course, we've got the ever more popular wasps. And, we've got bumblebee bees and crickets and,
Roger. Well, bugs aren't too bad here. If you put on a little bit of DEET, they leave you alone. Or a couple of stink sticks you put in the ground, light them up, and scent sticks seems to drive them away pretty well. They're not like they were in the past, which is actually kind of scary. There's still plenty of wasps. We've got these giant bumblebee-looking things that bore into any soft pine or any dead trees they can find. And that's what you see pollinating all the flowers. You don't see very many regular bees. I guess they have problems with parasites anymore. And got cicadas here, or cicadas, whatever people call them, and making noise, mating sounds and all that. But we don't have the black flies that take a chunk out. We've got the flies that you get at the beach, those little rotten green flies, You only see those on occasion, though. Not very often. It's actually been a pretty good year as far as pests go. As far as little flying pests go, anyway. Haven't been very many of them.
Yes, greenheads. Yeah, they're not very prevalent up here, but I recall in beaches in Massachusetts, you know, they were a real annoyance. But now, one thing I've got a number of those is I'm sure you've seen those tennis rackets that take a couple of, shall we say, AA bats, and they've got a little oscillator power supply and voltage multiplier, and they've got grid work, and you wave it around, and bam, they're gone.
We got,
She's like, this is designed by Nikola Tesla, it says so. And I got one from the Home Shopping Club, and it's got more batteries than the other one. And yeah, it weighs 50 pounds, but you swing that, and that's the end of a bug.
you guys have, like, lantern bugs there yet? They're real bad.
Oh, yeah, stink bugs, yes.
No, lantern bugs. It's like a Chinese bug. They eat trees. Like, they literally, like, they could go around and kill trees.
No.
Yeah, they're pretty bad up in Pennsylvania. They're starting to come over into Jersey. I live about 4 miles from the PA border. I'm just starting to see these lantern bugs, and if they home in on one of your trees, it's dead.
God. Oh, that's scary. What the moon just to keep the tourists out. Yeah. Anyway. You know, the bug zappers, I've got two in particular. One of them's dead and I have to try and fix it. My wife left it out in the rain. And they've got the voltage, a little voltage quadrupler with disc ceramic capacitors. Supposedly, you know, the supply will develop either 2,000 or 2,300 volts or something like that. So at the Hamfesters, I had picked up a number of either 0.33 or 0.39 microfarad 2 kV plastic foam capacitors. I could just about squeeze one of them in the handle and power it up. And you hit the button, and a little red LED comes on. You can just imagine hearing the turbines kicking in, going, whee, as the voltage builds up, and there's a butterfly, which, you know, you whack them with that, and sometimes it'll just stun them. But with the supercharging capacitor, and they turn into dust.
It's nice to have that extra, you know, half a coulomb or so.
Yeah. Well, the cap would last about a few days or a week with heavy bapping, and then it would just kind of start internally shorting. So I'd replace it, and everything would be up and running, and then I'd be taking the thing apart, and finally I gave up, and I've got a bunch of these 0.015 6 kV caps, and I could take two of them, parallel them up, and stuff them in the handle, but it's not the same as the 0.39. It just isn't, but still, it works.
You ever get whacked off a plate breaker, you know, that's got like no energy storage but a ton of voltage?
Yep.
Isn't that weird?
It is.
What?
Well, I can hear the static coming up. This is WA1H yellow.
This is W2, very weak here on Beechwood Mountain. I almost feel the need to zero beat.
I think I'm 0 beat of you, Dave. A little bit low. It's W2 BTK, the ancient VFO. I am tired, man. I'm straight up sleepy.
K2 QOD. Yeah, me too. I'm getting there.
Well, there ain't no reason why we gotta stay on the A much longer. There's somebody trying to break in, though.
K2 QOD. Good evening, Dave. Good evening, Tim. Good evening, Billy.
Hey, Billy, how's it going? Band is really noisy, but I hear you.
Okay, very good. That's all that matters. All right, guys, have at it.
Hey, yo, QOD, man, you're slamming it over here. I don't know what the deal is, but I'm hearing you're in there with everybody else.
Okay, well, Billy, very good evening to you, my friend. The a little staticky tonight. What are you going to do? It is the season, right?
It is the season, yeah, for static and crappiness, but that'll be over soon. Yeah, you've got an exceptional signal here, 52 dB SNR. So it's almost as good as Timmy and Dave.
He must be in your backyard. I can barely hear him. Billy.
Yep.
Hear me, Billy?
Wait, what's that? I can hear you. You're not quite coming in as well. Who's that? That's Daryl? What the hell are you doing, man? You gotta fire up that big T368 monster. Come on, man.
And what happened to Daryl?
I'm pissed weak.
You must be running that ICOM 7300. Come on, man.
That's what I'm running. I'm running the 7300.
Yeah.
Just put my barefoot race box on and let everybody this week.
Yeah, that's it. Let's get on here and we'll see what it's like to be a new guy with a plug-in radio.
Well, that would be me.
Yeah, no, it wouldn't.
Well, you know, why don't I try that? Yeah, put the race box on. Let's see. And see how well it's getting out.
I can't even put my rice box on. I actually ripped the audio chain feed out of it. I can only use the PC feed to it right now. So I can get on FT8 and that's it. I can't even get on sideband.
Does anybody hear my push week?
Yep.
I hear you, Timmy.
Yeah, I'm copying the state of Maine.
Oh my God, just give up. Somehow you're figuring out how to say all the important syllables in between the static crashes, so it's not fair because you have many years of experience. Well, you're not transmitting long enough. I gotta do a Jeffy transmission. All I know is I just pulled my Band-Aid off.
Radio transmitter. Let that thing breathe.
Yeah, we got to get QOD a 6-foot tall amplifier.
I know. I'll tell you, you guys don't even hear me on the Drake. That Drake, I don't know what's up with that. I know they don't have reputation
reputation as being good AM radios, but I've tried a couple of times on Saturday nights, and that thing, it's surprising because like it shows like it does like 100 watts on peaks, but it's forget about it. You guys don't even hear me. The audio is so weak on it.
Gotta try it at late afternoon. Is there a K2QU or something?
Yeah, good evening. Kilowatt 4, Quebec, United.
Oh, 4QU, sorry. I made you into a 2. Hello, good evening. Bunch of guys on here, I don't know how long you've been listening, but you're making it here to New Jersey, W2 very weak.
Okay, W2 Vito. Good evening, name is Mike. Now, just turned it on, haven't been listening, just wanted to know what this thing sounds like. It's an Aircraft K3, good?
Sounds pretty good. It's got legible audio, and there's no nothing weird going on there, so that part's fine. But it's really, 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 really noisy. There's a whole lot of QR Nancy activity within the skip zone that I am listening to here. So it's one of those nights where you really need a uranium-238 powered transmitter.
Yeah, my wife won't let me. Yeah, I'm gonna bail out. Just 2 minutes. Dave, you and Billy are the only ones I'm hearing. All the others are piss makers, and the static is getting to me. We'll see you guys later on. This WA1H, y'all are getting out of here.
Good night, Timmy. Always nice talking to you. Take care.
You as well. Fine business on the weather, old man.
See you later, Timmy. One of my favoriteest ham radio operators ever.
Oh, I listen to me all the time. See ya.
Tommy in the chat just said we should change QR Nancy to QR Karen.
Well, anyway, Mike, you're doing okay here, but it's one of those nights where it's just not easy to be heard. So, okay.
Yes, it is.
Okay, well, I just wanted to check in and say hello. You guys carry on. Good evening, and we'll come in again when the band starts. So, crashy, noisy. K4QU down here in Virginia.
Yeah, okay, I know we've worked before. Thanks for stopping in, and yeah, wow, like a month from now is like where things really start working. Of course, the world is weird with all those COVID-19 things, but, usually kids go back to school, people get on the air. September has always been a good month for 75 meter AM. Anyway, thank you for stopping in. 73 from the New Jersey Shore. I don't know where the Jersey Shore is. I think it's closer to Hades. This is the New Jersey Shore. Take care. W2 very weak.
I'm really tired, Dave. Like, Hatzel and Boo Boo, it kicks my ass.
Yeah, understood. I know how it is. I know. I've been there, done that. And, right now I feel like a complete idiot because I have to hold my head up above my heart.
So, check this out. It was my birthday on Tuesday, right? And, well, that's not the point of this, but I was like, yeah, like, cool, I'm gonna go home and, like, chill out and, like, do... Okay, so the there's like kind of this like overweight dude that works with us, whatever. He was working outside all day. He got some like heat stroke going on, and he caught himself before he like passed out or anything. But like, they're so overkill with the safety at this place. They're like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. You know, they wouldn't let him drive home and this and that. And they're like, oh, like you live like way out in Pennsylvania? Oh yeah, Billy does too. And I'm like, no, I don't. Like, what the hell? They're like, yeah, can you drive him home? Like, we'll give you an hour overtime. You know, so he lives about 45 minutes past my house into Pennsylvania. So, like, I'm like, yeah, okay, you know, like, I do it because, you know, I'm a team player, and he was fine. He thought it was so stupid. He's like, I don't understand why I can't drive home. I feel fine now, isn't that? So I did that on my birthday. Didn't get home till like, you know, like a little after 6 or whatever. And then they were like, can you pick him up in the morning, you know, and like, you know, be here for the 6 a.m. start. And I put my foot down on that. I was like, no, I can't do that, you know. So they bought him an Uber, but like I get a call at 9 o'clock that night, and they're like, look, like, oh man, I'm sorry, like, just what time do you leave your house to come to work normally? And I'm like, well, you know, like 4:50, something like that. They're like, all right, just like leave your house at that time and like go pick him up just in case like the Uber falls through. And this is like a conversation I'm having with my foreman at 9 at night on my birthday when I gotta be at work at 6 a.m., you know, like, I'm just like, Jesus, man. So, like, it kind of, like, ruined everything. I brought him home and everything, you know, and he ended up getting an Uber. He let me know just before I left my house, but, yeah, so that was, like, my birthday.
I'm sorry, Billy. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Billy. Happy birthday to you. I'm sorry your birthday sucked and that you work for people that don't understand how up and down, left and right, compass points, Pennsylvania, yeah, that must be Billy, yeah, all of Pennsylvania. You're close to all of Pennsylvania where you live. Sorry about that, man. Yeah, you should probably get some sleep, you know. I don't need to stay on here. I don't think I'm going to work any dog x-ray, and I'm sure there's people that want to pop on here and say hello, which is always nice, but band conditions aren't that good. There's a lot of noise. So, you know, go recharge, or we'll get back on here again in a day or two or whatever, and that's how it goes. I did that years and years and years ago with somebody, drove them back and forth when they had a problem one day, and if they were really being careful, they would have sent you with salt pills and smelling salt, you know, ammonia, and a defibrillator, and I mean, you weren't really prepared in case something really bad happened. Have you been trained? Have you been trained in CPR? Do you know how to do the Heimlich maneuver? I mean, you know, really, what are your qualifications for dealing with someone who's had trauma? You got any of those qualifications?
I mean, well, yeah, I know the I learned the Heimlich. You know, my parents made sure I knew how to do that, because when I was like, I don't know, 4 or 5, I was eating pizza and I started choking, and my dad performed the Heimlich on me. It was scary as hell. Like, I don't know if you know what it's like to not be able to breathe, like when you're a little kid choking on pizza, but like after that, they were like, look, this is how you do it. You need to know this. I know CPR and all that, but that's irrelevant. What they were worried about, they were like, just drive him home and make sure you blast the AC, and on the way home, you have to stop somewhere and get him Pedialyte, you know? So he was like, dude, screw that. Like, just bring me home. Like, I'll go get it myself. I feel fine. I don't know why they won't let me drive and this and that. And he's like, can I smoke a cigarette in your car? And I was like, yeah, you can smoke a cigarette in my car. This would be one crappy ass ride if I didn't let you smoke a cigarette in my car. So like that, you know, that was it.
Yeah, back in the old days, you would have just stopped at a go-go bar.
That's right, you know, like, he was like, hey, it's your birthday, like, we'll stop at the bar, you know, as a joke, and, like, these people did not think it was funny.
Yeah. It's tough, man. There are a lot of people in management that are totally disconnected from the rest of planet Earth. It's, there's more of that going on now than ever. And I understand that when you're working in an environment where you have all kinds of people from everywhere, and you're using Microsoft Project, and you've got deadlines, and, well, this corporate, you get in a little room with all these other little guys, with the beady eyes, and they throw their ideas back and forth, which have nothing to do with reality. But if you sit in a room long enough under fluorescent light and speak with other people around a table, especially if it's rectangular-shaped table, about all these ideas about how things really work, it becomes reality after a while, Billy.
It's really overboard with, like, the safety and this and that. Like, they would have never done that on any other job, but, like, to get into this place, like, it's so overkill on the safety. Like, the project manager was just putting on a show. He's like, look, we're not letting them drive home. Like, I don't care. Like, even the safety guy from Lilly, or from the GC, was like, yeah, I think he'll be all right to drive home now. It was like a couple hours before, he cooled off. He'd been in the AC for a while. He's drinking water, and he's like, yeah, like, I don't think it'd be a problem. And then our project manager was like, no. He's getting driven home, just putting on a show. But on any other job, he would have been out there like, geez, like, heat stroke, are you kidding me? Like, go sit in the shade for a couple minutes. Like, here's a bottle of water. Like, as soon as you can, like, you're feeling better, like, just get back in the ditch, But it was this job, so he put on a big show.
All right, well, take a deep breath. You got ripped off on your birthday, so you got to get, like, an extra pizza. See, you were saying about not being able to breathe when you were a kid, and you were choking on a pizza, so obviously it turned out well because you're still doing pizza.
And your birthday is,
that helps.
Wait, I missed that, actually. I said, yeah, I heard your birthday, and then the rest was kind of in the noise for me. But, yeah, I got back on that horse. I love pizza.
Yeah, I was just saying, your birthday still counts. You're not over age 50 yet, Bill, so your birthday still counts. Dave and I, we don't count birthdays anymore, or at least I don't.
Oh, man. Well, they're starting to count more and more. I mean, I'm 35 now, and that ain't no spring chicken, Like, I'm like, younger kids, like the TikTok generation. I'm an old man now, dude.
Love you two very weak.
W2 BTK.
K2 QOD. So I took off tonight. I pulled the pin. That's what you call it on the railroad when you take off. You pull the pin.
Wait, what?
When you take a day off on the railroad, they call it pulling the pin. Like you pull the pin on the coach to get the car out of the train. So I've been doing my, I don't know the last time I had a day off even. I mean, other than weekends, but I haven't had a day off in a while. So I took off. That's why I'm on.
Yeah, see, we do 410s right now, so I'm off tomorrow, Saturday, and Sunday, and, we just get our 40 hours in real quick.
Right now I'm doing, every week I'm doing
512s, oh my God. Yeah, that sucks. That's like no life status. I've been on a job where we went 712s for a couple weeks, and that is brutal, man. Like, you come home and shove food down your face, trying not to fall asleep, and like go immediately to bed, and then you wake up and go back, and you don't even, you're like, why did I even come home,
Yep, or like you're doing the 512s and you stay up at night when you get home. That's even more fun. I've done my share of that where I don't want to do it. On 3 or 4 hours sleep the next day.
I've done that hundreds of times.
That's awful. It starts like you get like, I don't know, you get foggy after a while of that. I mean, I remember when I first started with this company, we were on a job and it was all screwed up and we were doing crazy amounts of overtime, you know, like working, like, you know, it would be scheduled for like 40 hours, you know, 5 days, 8 hours, and you would end up coming in an hour early and like staying 2 hours, like, oh, can you stay, and like you're already at like, you know, 50 something hours by Friday, and then they're like, oh yeah, like tomorrow, can you do a 10 tomorrow? And then like finally, like, you're done with your 10 hours on Saturday, and they're like, look, like, this is all screwed up. Can you come in tomorrow on Sunday? Like, you know, and it's so lucrative that you're like, yeah, I'll be there. But like a month or two of that, and you're just like dead.
$1,000 order at Summit Racing Equipment, and you know, the kids have got all new jeans and new sneakers, and it's nice though, you know, so, you know, it's like a double-edged sword.
Yeah, the worst thing I ever had to deal with that was Martin Luther King Day. I think it was 2012. I went into work early, and just about everybody else took the day off. It was a holiday, but I had something acting up at work, and I wanted to keep an eye on it. So I went in early, and I left at I think I left at like 2 o'clock. And I'm on my way home, going through the Lincoln Tunnel, and my phone goes off. And I get all these alarms from all the equipment. Buzz, emails, text, all kinds of, you name it, it was going off. And I'm in the middle of Lincoln Tunnel headed home on a Port Authority bus. And it turns out that it was a really cold day. They had a standpipe on the 88th level of the building that burst, and it ran down in between the floors and collected on the floor above my floor and sat there and built up, and finally burst a plug between the two floors and flooded the static switch, which is a 208. It's got a couple of 208 inputs from different sources, and it feeds all the rack equipment in my facility, which you're talking about news gathering equipment, equipment that's on the air, transmitting, you name it. I mean, everything in the place. Half of it was totally knocked out because it wasn't a drip. It was all of a sudden this plug actually popped out of the ceiling. Somebody made it out of some kind of frickin' flour and water. Who knows what it was made out of, but it failed, man, and it was catastrophic. Anyway, I had to turn around. I couldn't turn around on the, you know, you can't, Port Authority buses and go to, I had to come all the way home and hop on the next bus. It was 4 degrees, I remember. I had to take the bus back in after I'd done my shift and traveled home, back in there and talk a guy who was there, who went there, had to temporarily backfeed all the 125 volt circuits so that at least we could get back, you know, all the news gathering, like the stuff that's picking up the choppers and all this crap, right? He did a really good job, too. The guy was really good under pressure. But he had this
Horseman,
heavy,
man,
thick
thanks for the
accent.
follow,
I couldn't
brother.
understand what the hell he was saying. Other than that, it was great.
Hey, man, welcome to the madness.
So I get there, straighten it all out, figure it all out, talk to the building engineers who are looking at the water that's still dripping. They're like, oh, we don't understand what the problem is here. And the way your lease is written, you guys are liable for this.
Oh,
it's
horse
your problem.
shaman.
Have a nice day.
Sorry
See you
about that. I
later.
mispronounced it.
All this crap, right? Really stressful crap. And I had to get the TV transmitter going also. The thing had crapped out, and the guy that was there, he did a great job, but he wasn't familiar with some of this stuff. So we were on a backup, which our backup was hobbled. It was a useless backup. Imagine having like a half watt compared to 1500 watt backup signal coming from somewhere. That's what we had. Nobody could see that. Anyway, it took like 2 minutes to get it back up. It wasn't that bad. Flew some extension cords. By that time, the IT geeks had arrived and all that. They were there to help, which was nice. I'm like, all right, guys, this is what we're going to do. We're going to cut the end off an extension cord and just jam it in here for now. And then we'll balance all these loads out so nothing burns up. And I'm on the phone for like the next 6 hours with management and contractors. How are we going to fix this? What are we going to do? And the guy who's in charge, who is not even from the United States, was from another country, is like, man, I'm afraid we're going to have a fire because water got on the equipment. And I'm like, look, this is going to be a fire because water got on your 480 three-phase equipment. It'll be fine. And he's like, well, we need to regroup here tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. And I'm like, look, dude, if I come in here at 6 a.m. tomorrow morning, I'm going to be unsafe. I'm putting myself out of service, and let's make it for the following day, and that's that.
Good for you, man. Yeah, that's unreasonable. Dude, what? That story, that sucks, but, I mean, TV, yeah. I just can't believe what the hell was that drain that failed? Like, what? Why was that there? Like, what? Like they're probably so meticulous about all your crap, and then there's that. What the hell? What the hell is up with these people? How about this one, Dave? And this was right after I got laid off, so it wasn't my problem. We finished this building, it's a LabCorp, and there was a 5-inch water line. 5-inch. Like, okay? That thing broke on like a Friday night. Nobody found out till Monday.
Yeah. That's a lot of freaking water. W2 very weak. Well, in our case, it was the fire suppression standpipe, which is pretty interesting in the Empire State Building. The guy who designed all that stuff in, I guess, 1930, and they finished the building in 1931. That guy, same guy, was still working for the fire department, and he went back there to fight the fire. It was a giant gasoline fire when the B-25 Mitchell bomber hit the Empire State Building. And I think it was July 1945. Can't think of the date, but anyway. Same guy. So it was a great system. And I think it's an 8-inch standpipe. I don't know how they get all that pressure up there, but, it's up on high floors, and they were doing construction, so something was allowing the temperature to get super cold that wouldn't normally be like that, but they're always working up there, working, and they had something exposed, so the thing burst. Just the fact that it would come all the way down from there to the 78th floor, which, Billy, you've been in there, that's where all that hard line came out of that I had stashed there. It collected on that floor And that's what made it even worse. And that wasn't the only floods that happened there. There were a bunch more that happened that the only reason I caught them before they became disastrous was I still had access to that space.
Man, well, I guess stuff like that happens, it leaves something open or whatever. It's always construction, though, like it. No wonder people hate construction so much. It's like, you get this place, everybody, like, we're like subhuman. I got a funny off-topic story about that. I'm really tired. I'm all over the place, but check this out. So I was working at the same place I'm working now like 5 years ago, except we were doing like lighting retrofits, like changing out all the 2x4 fluorescent light fixtures out to like LED crap, right? So we're doing all these labs, and they're active labs, right? So we've got to like put on these gowns and these booties, and we're in and out, and all the scientists are like, So I'm like walking up and down this corridor all day, and there's this one like little tiny Chinese lady, like maybe like 4'7", with the big goofy, like lab safety goggles on, and her like lab coat and this and that. And I walk past this woman like 30 times a day, and just like walk by, don't say nothing, this and that. So finally I'm like, you know what? This is weird. So I crack a joke, and this place is called Lily or whatever, so they have that on their lab coats, and then on the other side they have like their name or whatever, but like real big patch says Lily. And I'm just like, I say to this lady, I'm like, wow, it's really funny, like everybody that works here's name is Lily, like that's crazy. And I point to like the patch, on her lab coat, and she looks at me, and she thought I was dead serious, like I was so stupid. And she's like, this little Chinese lady, she goes, no, my name not Riri, company Riri, and like does like a face palm on her forehead and looks at me like, oh God, you're so stupid, and I was just like, oh, like haha, like oh okay, and like I just kept walking. It's like, oh God, these construction people, like they're so dumb, but whatever.
That's a good W2VW. I'm aiming for 9 o'clock here, so 5 minutes, and we're gonna sign the hell off. I'm gonna jam the coasters here. We're gonna turn up Along Came Jones and Yakety Yak, Don't Do Crack. I'm looking for that PSA, because the one guy for the coasters got shot in the hood after that, right after he did that. Man, anyway, yeah, we should have international stupid, where you have people from different countries trying to speak a common language who don't really understand each other, and they think that they're stupid. That would be good subject material. I can tell you for sure, I remember seeing, because I saw it, somebody who was very sick consulting with a doctor from another country, and they were both speaking really crappy English, and the guy who was sick missed an opportunity at something that would have saved his life, because neither one of them had a command of the English language, and they were speaking in English. I watched that happen. So it can be very bad. So your thing was just just the tip of the iceberg there, Billy. Yes. No, really. And hold the MSG.
You know what, guys? The other thing, too, you don't realize these other countries, they don't have these problems because, like, they all got bombed back to the Stone Age, like during the Second World War. We got all these old buildings, and it's the same way on the railroads. Like, they run all these security cameras, what they're constantly running into all the time. The buildings are all 100 years old, and they're loaded with asbestos. Everything you touch anywhere in any of these buildings. It's just nothing but asbestos, and it's like, all this technology. It's a layering. It's like they put lipstick on a pig. Like we got this 100-year-old infrastructure, and we're trying to run all this modern, cutting-edge stuff on top of it. K2QD.
I'm pretty sure that's why they demoed the Twin Towers. What? Oh, man. Yeah, well, asbestos, I've dealt with my fair share of that. They bring in asbestos abatement crews, and they put up like a Home Depot blue tarp, and then they just chip all that crap out, and they're like, yeah, go install some outlets over there. I'm like, all right. I saw one of the masons, like, there was like a piece of asbestos. They were like working right by him, and the crap was like flying. It like landed in his hair. And I was like, his name is Butch. It's like old guy, burly guy. It's like, Butch, I think you got some asbestos in your hair there. And he's like, that crap ain't nothing. He pulls it out of his hair and like puts it in his mouth and like chews on it and spits it out. And he's like, here. It's like, damn, bro.
Dave and I used to eat that stuff for lunch every day.
Yeah, you can eat asbestos. It's really pretty good for the digestive system. It drags out all the bad stuff.
Didn't Frank's father work for John's Mansville?
Whose father?
Frank Norbetter. I think his father worked for Mansville over there.
No, I don't think he did, but I know what got him, because I was at his funeral. He had a melanoma. He was getting chunks of his skin cut off because he had no pigment whatsoever, He was really fair. And that eventually morphed into metastasized, and that's that. Oh, yeah. Yeah, melanin is really good stuff, man, when you think about it. It's good for you. It keeps you from wrinkling. It keeps you from getting skin cancer. It really is a good protective thing to have. Unless you happen to look like somebody who's a real troublemaker and who's wanted by the police.
I got a good amount of melanin going on right now. I was out in the sun driving ground rods. It's like nothing but shale, like in the ground here, and they want 10-foot ground rods driven at a 90-degree angle down, and they just got this like cookie cutter out of some book about like grounding or whatever. They did no like site research on what was in the ground or anything like that, and they're just like, yeah, that's what we want, and it'll take a year to get it changed, so just do it. I'm out there with like a pile driver jackhammer, like a big serious jackhammer, running this thing to the point where it's overheating and leaking oil and not making any progress. And they're like, look, just like, keep trying or whatever. I'm like, yeah, okay. Like, you can see where they dug out with the machine. There's just like these 2-3 foot like sections of shale, just like layered shale. It's just rock, It's like so dumb. I don't understand. It's like, why don't you do like a site survey, see what's in the ground there, before you spec this crap? Because like that's what they're paying for. That's what you got to give them. Only it's impossible. Like, tried the hammer drill, burnt out the hammer drill, went for like the big ass hammer drill. That thing will get you down like maybe a foot before you start hitting this crap. And I'm literally using a jackhammer that I can only lift up like maybe a foot off the ground. You know, like that big, heavy Bosch pile driver jackhammer. And I'm just like, ba 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 for a couple hours at a time until, you know, I've taken the top of this ground rod down a few inches. The thing is smoking when I take the bit off it. It's mushroomed out. It's like it's ready to snap at the top. And there's just no progress. And they're like, yeah, just like, you know, keep trying. So I've got a little bit of melanin going on the neck and arm regions.
Yep.
Understand. Look, that's driving in RF grounds into the outside out here. My RF ground is 3 feet. That's it. I did the 8-foot rod. I just, I'm like, all right, listen, this is better than nothing. And I know they say you should be 8 feet, but you're not going to do 8 feet in northwest New Jersey.
Elijah. Nope. You ain't gonna get no 8 feet up there. You got all kinds of shell going on, and the problem with that stuff is you hit it. You can take a 90-pound jackhammer and hit it, but it kind of talks, you know, because it's pieces of rock. So you don't really get it absorbs the energy. Been there, done that. Anyway, folks, I'm gonna sign out. Shut all this crap off. Maybe I'll do some FT8, see if I can work Planet Mars before I shut down here. But not with this transmitter. So thanks, Bill, Billy, William, whatever. Nice talking to you guys. I'm going to listen out. And we'll talk to you again very soon. It's been fun working through the static here in August. A month from now, it'll be great. W2 BTK and KA2 QOD and W2 very weak.
Yeah, all right, Dave. Sounds good. You know, I'm gonna sign too. I'm just like, I'm losing it. I'm really tired. I just need to go like zone out for like half an hour, and then I'm going to bed, man. Like I'm just going to bed. I'm gonna wake up tomorrow at a reasonable time. I gotta go to the post office, right, to pick up my my overdrive protection circuit that came and that I had to sign for, but I've been at work. So I'm gonna get that and play with some stuff tomorrow, some solid state crap devices and this and that. I've got some other stuff. I've got some machine work to do, Dave, and we still need to talk about that because that's cool stuff. I've got all that here. Yeah, so real fun. We'll catch you later. I'm getting the hell off the radio. I am too tired, man. We'll see y'all later. W2 BTK signing out.
7-3 K2 QOD. Hey Dave, is Henry in Mattawan?
Is who what?
Henry's machine. Remember Henry over by the train station there? Is he still in business in Mattawan?
Oh, you mean Henry's Heads there from Mattawan? I don't know. I haven't been over there since, let me think about this, probably, February of 1994, I think is the last time I was there.
Well, that's why I've been slowly but surely acquiring things. I got a whole bunch of valve grind stuff and a disc and drum lathe here. I got all kinds of stuff because the same thing. Everybody closed up and headed south. Nobody's here anymore. So, all right, guys, 7-3 K2 QOD.
Hey, see you later, Billy. And hey, Dave.
For about 5 years back then. He was sort of okay. He had all kinds of like, he was well known, sponsored some race cars, all that, you know. He was sort of okay, especially with the Chevrolet and all that. I don't think I ever used him for a Chrysler anything. I did have him rebuild some Cadillac heads. Anyway, see you later. Catch up with you next time. Take care. It's been fun. W2 VW.
See you later, Billy. And hey, Dave, we got a really good signal report from somebody in the Twitch chat. They're about an hour drive from the Gulf Coast. 4 S units. How about that?
Yeah, that's good, man. That's great. Yeah, you're getting out, Bubba. You got to put some steel up there. You put a tower up and a mast and a real antenna, and people are going to hate your guts. Good night. W2VW.
Oh, and that's on a 5/8 wave CB vertical at like 45 foot. He heard you too. See you later, W2BTK.
Good night, W2BC.
Bill, WB2BC. Just want to let you know you coming to like a 30 tonight.
Hey, Billy, can you hear me while you're doing the walkaway? W2BTK, Billy the Kid. W9WOO.
Oh, hey, Gary. Yeah, I hear you pretty well. And I heard that other guy saying I was coming in at 30. Thanks for the signal report. And, yeah, Gary, you're not doing too bad here, man, from 9 land. But, I gotta shut this mess down, man. I'm getting loopy. I am just tired as hell, man. I put in a pretty hard week. I really need to... I gotta get some sleep. I'm gonna get back on the radio tomorrow night and try to do this for a little longer, but I'm out of it, man.
I understand, Billy, and I just wanted to say hello to you before you left and everything. So, yeah, go ahead and get some sleep. I just wanted to say that you had a few people here in Indy. It's probably maybe 10 over 9. Yeah, you're doing real good here in Indy. So, good night, tight, and what they say, don't let the bed bugs bite. Really, W2, W9WOO here in Indy.
Yeah, cool, man. Thanks for the signal report. I always love hearing that. We're getting out. So, all right, man. If you're around tomorrow night, I'll try to talk to you then. All right. So take care, and I'm gonna go zone out. W2BTK.
Okay, 7030s, while you're turning your comments off. W9WOO is clear.
Dude, hell yeah, Tommy. Turn that thing on. We want to hear that HT40, bro. That's what I'm talking about. Fire it up, man. Fire it up. Jeez, I'm like out of it, man. I'm tired as a motherfucker. I just can't do it. Can't do it. Oh, good thing though. I don't have to work tomorrow. I'm gonna get some decent sleep tonight. Get up at a humanly hour tomorrow. We'll fire up the live stream tomorrow night. Hopefully there's we get some good conditions, some interesting people out there. I hope Tommy fires up, man. Tommy, you gotta do it, man. And hey, did you get that relay to work okay? Did you have to screw with it at all? Oof. Man. Oh, there must be some serious lag tonight on the Twitch stream. Only had one dropout today. Let's see. Oh, God. 1,216 dropped frames. Yeah, diode. Yeah. You weren't able to get it to click back. Yeah, that was the problem. I was having it for a little bit. It's a mechanical issue, so try to get it, like loosen up that coil. And I found that turning it upside down or right side up, in either case might help a little bit. Yeah, Oh, you got the diode on there? Yeah, that diode is good. That'll help suppress any arcs that happen, you know, when that coil energizes. They call that a flyback diode, but I was having okay results using 12 volts DC. When it would get all stuck like that, I'd bang it on the desk a couple times just to demagnetize it in case it was turning into electromagnet, right? And then just mechanically loosen it, kind of tighten it back up. Make sure that the PL259s that you have screwed into it aren't too tight. You know, tight enough to make a good connection, but I found if you really ramp them down, it screws with it. It's mechanically like fucked up. So I was able to screw with it for a little while, and I got it working really, really reliably. But when I pulled it off the shelf, same thing was happening. It was latching and not going back. But after screwing with it for a while, I got it to work really well. So you probably just have to screw with it, man. I'm sorry, like, to send you such a piece of crap, but I used that thing for years like that. I got it working pretty well. Every couple of months it would screw up on me, and I'd fix it again and get it working again. And well, when I got sick of that, I just got a different one. But it'll work, man. I swear to God, that thing works. You just have to, you're gonna have to dick around with it a little bit until you find a way to mount it, you know, and like loosen the connections, tighten them up a little bit. Like, you'll find the sweet spot. You could get that thing working. Is it worth it? I don't know, but it will work. I swear to God. So, if all else fails, you know, you can use one of your regular relays or whatever. It's not going to be 50 ohms, but I don't think your transmitter is going to care. You just compensate for that with the loading and the tuning. It'll dip right into it, you know. Yeah, I mean, try taking it apart, reassembling it. That could help for sure. It's just it's old and it's a little fucked up, but you can get it. Dave, what do you think? That thing is like, I was having the same problem. It was latching and not unlatching, but I got it to work from just fucking around with it for a while. Dave's in here. Conjugate match transfers almost all the power. Yeah. So, yeah, you should be fine with any... Like, if you really get sick of it and you can't get it to work, just use a relay. You'll be good. But hey, diode component, man, it's good to see you back in here, man. I'm glad you made it home safe off the boat. Dave, that's what I think was happening, because I would bang that friggin' thing on my desk and it would get better, you know? Just, you got to demagnetize it and then try to just fuck with it, you know? I think that's exactly what's happening, man. It's turning into a little electromagnet. But bang that mofo on the floor, man, a couple of times. It'll demagnetize, and then you can try different stuff, see if you can get it. Like I said, before I sent it out, I got it working real reliably. Like, the thing, it was keying and unlatching and working okay. But, you know, I had to spend 10 or 15 minutes fucking with it to get it to that point. But it'll work. If you really want it to work, it'll work. For a while. Until it pisses you off really bad. I've definitely cursed at that thing a lot. Anyway, it's starting to get hot in here. I'm tired as all hell. I am going to shut down this here stream. We'll just go check and see if any of our homies are live streaming right now. Maybe we could check them out. Wow, there's really nobody on Twitch tonight that I'm following. Oh well. Yeah, exactly, Tommy. If you can get that thing to work, it's probably worth it. It'll help you out. Just skills, man. You'll be able to get it. And anyway, guys, I'm gonna go get some sleep. I'll see you guys tomorrow. We'll have a stream tomorrow night, probably Saturday, and take it from there. So, peace out, everybody. Thanks for hanging out with me, and we'll do it again.